Hello, welcome to another weekly AEW review. It is Revolution Week, and I just finished watching Collision and Dynamite ahead of the pay-per-view this Sunday. So we're going to jump right into it with the Dynamite from 311, coming out of San Jose, California. They started off with an action right off the bat. Match number one was the Death Riders versus Don Callis family. It was the tag team match between Claudio and Moxley versus Hechicero and Takeshita. Hechicero and Claudio started this thing off. It was great. Hechicero controlled the ground game, countered out Claudio's size and power just by taking him to the ground consistently through it. Moxley and Takeshita get a tag in, giving you a nice preview of what's about to happen this Sunday. They got back from commercial break. Hechicero was fighting off the Death Riders to get a hot tag into Takeshita. Takeshita and Moxley exchanged for a while until Claudio and Hechicero came back in. And then the finish of it saw Shafir eye poke Hechicero as he was thrown into the second rope from the outside. And Claudio catches him with a small package to roll him up for the win. This was a really good match. I didn't like the finish of it at all. I gave it a 4-star. The match itself was great. The finish sucked. I don't think they needed to do an eye poke there. I think you could have had Claudio pinning Hechicero semi-cleaner than that, at least a lot cleaner than that, and it's still been fine, given enough. Doing this, it sets up for a reason for Hechicero to have a right to a one-on-one, hopefully get a clean finish. But good match, good opening match for Dynamite. Don Callis family ran in to jump Moxley afterward. Archer actually hits and takes out Shafir during this whole thing, which was very nice to see somebody take her out. Takeshita calls everybody off of the beatdown on Moxley, trying to get them to leave him because he wants him at Revolution. This is pissing off Hechicero and the rest of the Don Callis family, but they back off. Granted, this was after they tried to get him to nail Moxley with the chair, but they finally back off and leave. Ooh. They had a backstage interview with Renee Paquette had a backstage interview with Willow and Persephone. They have a match on the show tonight. They both won their titles off of Mercedes Moné. And yeah, this was one that I was looking forward to. Persephone has been a feature in CMLL. They brought her in, I think, 1 or 2 times before into AEW. And yeah, I like her. Don Callis was in the back then, pumping up Kyle Fletcher ahead of his match with Mike Bailey. MJF came up to ask Fletcher to basically take out Bailey for him, in which Kyle Fletcher tells MJF to basically fuck off. He's not going to work for him. He's going to go out there and beat the crap out of Bailey because he wants to, and he wants to show MJF that he can beat the crap out of Bailey, and MJF can't. Max tells Kyle to watch who he's talking to and tells Don that he needs to teach his boys how to talk to a world champion, which makes Fletcher, of course, question to Don whether or not they're working for him, because there's no way that he wants to ever deal with MJF. That led us right into match number 2, Speedball versus Fletcher. This was a quick one. This was a quick, fun match, and it went hard. A lot harder than I was expecting. Bailey started off very fast, trying to use his speed to land as many strikes and catch as many throws on Fletcher that he could early in this. Even when they went to the outside, Mike Bailey kept up the pressure on him the entire time. Bailey's kick combination exchanges with Fletcher were exciting. Fletcher still on the defense. Even 10 minutes halfway through the match, he was still running on the defensive. Fletcher finally finds the advantage after landing lawn darting Bailey into the top turnbuckle. Bailey counters the brainbuster into an armbar, and then gets a moonsault to the knees, almost gets the pinfall there, comes out with a 2 count. Gosh, I gotta remember how to flip these things. Fletcher powered up Bailey after that, though, from another armbar and hit some kind of buster on him before they went out to the outside. Bailey hit a poison rana from the top rope and then came back with the big kicks on him for another 2 count as they went into the 5-minute mark. And it started picking up fast at the 5-minute mark too. Fletcher finds another driver but can't close it. Mike Bailey misses with his Ultimo weapon. There were a bunch of rolling back forth near falls. And then Okada comes down, distracts. Mark Davis comes down, tosses in the belt to Fletcher, who creams him with it, lays him out, and gets the win. This is another one. Great match. Hate the finish. I give it 4 stars. Again, this is, giving it so we can have a rematch at some point, but this was such a good match. They haven't had Mike Bailey wrestling solo enough as of late. It was great to see him in a match, and I was just annoyed that they did the finish the way that they did on it. I would have liked, even if it just went to the time limit. He is guaranteed then a shot after Revolution at the champion. But they did that way, and it is what it is. Match number 3 was a standby match in which Brody King faced some skinny crackhead. I don't even know who the fuck he was. Brody didn't even have his gear on. He came out, hit a clothesline, Gonzo bomb immediately. I think that was less than a minute of a match. I gave it 2 stars because, there was nothing there. Brody got on the mic afterward to basically call out, I'm most dangerous. I'm not even in gear, and I'm out here beating guys up. Swerve attacks Brody from the crowd when he was walking around outside, tries to choke him with the chain, but Brody grabs it, breaks the fucking chain, and then he chokes Swerve, hanging him off the edge of the apron for a little bit until Nana comes in and saves him and gets him away. See here, we had Renee in the back with Speedball. He was not hung up over his loss to Fletcher. He figured Fletcher would cheat. He's planning on getting his payback with the trios titles at Revolution. So it's building. They're going to keep doing things with this. The trios match at Revolution, I think, is going to be a fun one. Match number 4, Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin versus the Dogs. David Finlay and Gabe Kidd. This started outside as the Dogs were coming in. Cassidy and Allin jumped them on the ramp. Came out of the ring and met him on the ramp. They broke off and went outside into the crowd for a while on this. Darby, at one point, after the match had finally gotten back in, tried to suicide dive onto Finlay, but gets swatted away and landed on the ground just rough. And that took him out for a while, too. Like, he didn't get back up on the apron. Orange had to fight the Dogs by himself for a while. Finally managed to get the hot tag into Darby. Clark Connors, though, cracks Darby from the crowd when they go outside with a tire iron, as everybody else is fighting around outside, too. The Dogs then 2-on-1 on Darby for a little while. And Finlay lands his Dominator move, and Kidd hits a pile driver on Darby. It was a 3. A lot of help at the end on these matches. Right at the end, somebody getting hit from back. Especially with how they've been doing this Gabe Kidd storyline. It seems constantly now that somebody's getting jumped and pulled from out of the crowd. I've gotten tired of that story trope in this already. Now when their matches start, the first thing I'm expecting is, okay, who's not in this match? That's who's going to be coming in from the crowd to fucking pull somebody out. So it was a 3-star match. It was enough fun and action in it to keep it going, but not that great overall. The Dogs were beating down Darby and OC afterward when Roderick Strong comes slowly walking out. He gets in the ring, and the Dogs feed him Orange so that he will hit End of Heartache on him and join them. But Roderick Strong turns on the Dogs, starts kicking them, beating them up and kicking them out of the ring. He saves Darby and Orange. He's back with them, even though he's not Conglomeration. Let's see here. Next up, match number 5 was Persephone versus Willow for the TBS Women's Championship. This was a fairly even match off the start. I was happy that they did the pacing on this to keep Persephone looking as strong as she needs to, especially against Willow, since Willow is one of the stronger women in the AEW roster. So, fairly even match on power. Persephone deadlifting Willow was really cool to hit her fallaway slam. A springboard moonsault from Persephone only got her a 2 count, and it was a very nice looking springboard. Persephone tries for the crucifix bomb, but Willow manages to escape out of it and turn it into a backslide pin to get the win. This was the 3.5. This was above entertaining, and I knew that with Willow being in the tag group that she's in, everything building to Revolution, I knew that she wasn't going to lose her championship to this. But it was good. A nice highlight for Persephone. Backstage, they had a video package from Dem Boys and FTR versus Ciampa. Young Bucks are teaming with Briscoe to face off FTR. Yeah. I think this was the one where they were sitting in a boardroom in the back. It was just kind of a dumb segment again. They had a backstage thing with the Babes of Wrath. They've decided to put the tag titles up at Revolution, which you don't really get to decide. I'm pretty sure Tony puts those titles on every single pay-per-view. We'll put tag titles on every single pay-per-view. This is the first one with women's tag titles. But I digress. They're going to have the titles up at Revolution going against Mega Cross, the team of Megan Bayne and Lena Cross. And then Willow has also decided that she's going to put her TBS title on the line against Lena Cross during the pre-show, during 0 hour. So everybody will be able to get to watch that match live on YouTube or wherever else they wind up streaming it from. Match number 6, Ciampa and FTR versus Dem Boys. This one, I don't even think I had too much on notes on this. Because, it was just craziness. Wild start, everybody paired off outside of the ring well before the bell sounded off. Everybody was hitting high spots from off of everything, battling through the crowd until they finally worked their way back in. It was a cluster of a match. Briscoe tried to do the froggy bow to Ciampa through a table, but FTR saved him as they finally got everybody into the ring and the bell rang. Dem Bucks. Briscoe and the Bucks work really well together as a trio. They have some nice trios offense that they were able to put together with it. Still keeping Briscoe feeling like he's his own full character in it. Not just like repeating and copying what a Buck would do. They had 3 top rope maneuvers, only finds a 2 count before FTR took back control a little bit. FTR pushed Nick Jackson off the top rope through one of the tables that was set up early outside that Briscoe was trying to use earlier. And then FTR pile driver on Matt through another table off the apron. And then Ciampa lands the running knee strike on Briscoe to get the win. I gave this 3.5 stars. This was just hard to keep track of and try and write down what's going on through these kinds of the trios and larger group matches, but very fun, very entertaining. I am tired of FTR just in general, but I realized that I never was that major of a fan of them, even when they were the revival in the WWE. I remember them showing up there and they have a cool old school persona, and then it's just the I don't know, it's with their attitude or what. It's particularly with Dax. I just can't stand him anymore. Let's see here. Ciampa continued the beat down after the bell. Grabs chairs to set and sets them up and nails a avalanche air raid crash through him. It was all right, yeah. Good. That was the main event of the show. It was weird because afterward they went into a press conference between MJF and Hangman. Pretty softball questions from the news reporters. At the end of it, MJF tries to toast Hangman never getting another championship shot again with a beer, throws a beer on him. It just starts a fight. They wind up battling all the way out to the ring. Hangman takes control while they fight out to the out down to the ring. When they get down there, he gets out and pulls out a piece of plywood with a whole bunch of spools of barbed wire stapled down onto it, and looks to nail a dead eye off of the apron down to this board that he has set up. MJF escapes, run off. Good little tease for some of the blood we'll be seeing during their death match. And that was how they went off the air for Dynamite. Again, the press conference thing popping up at the end, I didn't expect it. I would have thought that like that kind of segment you would have put before your main event instead of after. It felt very weird and it screwed up the pacing, I think. From what I heard, it also confused the fucking shit out of the fans in the arena at it. So, Collision. Match number 1. Kevin Knight versus El Clone. God, I am getting tired of already seeing El Clone lose matches. They let Hologram keep his fucking winning streak for so long. Even matchup. Clone kept up the pressure to maintain his advantage throughout this. Clone actually had the advantage through a lot of this match with Kevin Knight. Knight battled back, laying out Clone with a springboard lariat off the top rope, and then followed it up with his UFO splash to get the pin. It was a 3-star match. It was very good and very well paced. Was not as fast paced as I thought it would be with these two wrestlers, but they kept it slower. It kept it nice. Didn't overstay itself, and was very well done. 3-star match. They had a video package from the Don Callis family about them winning the Trios Championship and Speedball's challenge to Kyle Fletcher for the TNT Championship. Just a real quick recap thing from the previous week. Then they went into a backstage little promo with the Babes of Wrath. Harley Cameron is not feeling confident going into the Revolution pay-per-view, but Willow's there, being the positive one, encouraging her, telling her that not to worry about it. They are concerned because Lena Cross is giant and has been destroying people, but Willow's planning on taking her out during the 0 hour to make it easy for them to win and retain their tag championships. That led to Commander versus Mark Davis, match number 2. This was Davis's match entirely. Davis just started with throwing Commander around the ring, pretty much for the first 5 minutes. He just was tossing him around. Commander tries to powerbomb Davis off the apron to the ground through the outside after popping over the top rope and flipping over him, but he can't get him out. So he tries to roll back and kick his legs up to hook him and get him down that way, but as soon as he rolls back, Davis just plops a seat down right on top of him. Just crushes the air out of him. Yeah. Commander finds some offense thanks to his speed in the later parts of this match. But at the end of it, Davis just ate anything that Commander really had to throw at him. Avoids the rope walk moonsault that Commander likes to utilize. Picks him up, gut wrench pile driver. This is another one. It was a great match. I like that they handled... allowed Commander to be the faster high flyer and for Davis to be the one grounding him consistently through this. I gave it a 3.5 stars. I thought it was better than the first match. I enjoyed it a lot. They had a video package from the Dogs calling out Roddy Strong for helping Darby and Orange the previous on Dynamite. He's now made the list with them, so we'll be expecting more matches with this group. The match between the Dogs and Darby Allin at Revolution has been made a tornado tag match, so we can absolutely guarantee that there is going to be outside interference in this. They might as well have just made it a trio match as soon as Roddy came out and sided with Orange and Darby. So here we had a video package for Dorada, pumping up him for the fans, ahead of him being in the main event of the Collision tonight. He was facing against Andrade in the main event. And then they had another video package kind of going through with different people who are putting their names in for the 21-man Blackjack Battle Royale at Revolution for the national title. Now, I thought for a second that this was going to be for a shot at the national title. Apparently, they are putting the title on the line in this. So, Ricochet is deeply at a disadvantage going into Revolution. Match number 3, the Triangle of Madness versus 3 jobbers. Viva Van, Charisma, and I think her name was Titan. I don't really know. Charisma never got a tag to anybody on her team. Julian Sky Blue started this thing off on their side and just worked her over. And then when they went to tag Tekla in, they ran over, took the other ones off the apron. Tekla hit her spider taunt and spear and finished it off really quick. So quick, in fact, I gave it a 1 star. Like, there was nothing in this match. I don't think it really built anything. Afterward, Tekla got on the mic to call out Statlander again and basically talk trash, which brought Statlander out. She cleared Julia and Sky. Gets in the ring, goes to fight with Tekla, but winds up like taking off her belt and tossing it to Tekla, and then turning around, taking off her jacket to expose her back, and letting Tekla hit her with the belt repeatedly to show that she's strong. Kind of a weird storyline, but it was whatever. It didn't really work. She kept getting back up on her feet. Tekla got pissed off, finally clocks her in the back of the head, starts punching her in the back of the head to try and lay her out. Before Tekla can get all the way up the ramp and to the back, Statlander grabs the microphone and warns her to not be afraid of her, but be afraid of what she's going to have to do to put her down at Revolution. It's an interesting threat. It works. They went to a backstage promo with Marina Shafir, who's warning Toni Storm about their match coming up at Revolution, that I guess Tony had given her advice not to change a thing early on, to stay the course, and now, well, Tony has veered into Shafir's course and is about to get destroyed. Match number 4. The Demand versus Bang Bang Gang. Ricochet tries to sneak attack Ace Austin early on in this at the start. But he immediately got caught trying to sneak into the ring by Ace and gets drop kicked back to the outside. This led to Ace Austin doing a pretty good job holding his own against Bishop Khan for a while at the start. He tags out to Austin Gunn for a little bit, who again holds his own, and then Toa Leola tags in, and eventually Juice Robinson gets tagged in as well, so you get the 2 heavies for their teams facing off in the middle. It's nice, but Toa Leola still has the power advantage in this fully. Juice is able to get some cheeky, strong offense in, but even then, it is still Toa all the way around in this. The match was pretty good, though. It gets wild in the midsection on this. Lots of high-flying moves to the outside, trying to take Toa and Bishop down. Juice lands 3 of his left hands of God to try and keep Leola out of this match. Punches him 3 times, gets him out of the ring. I don't understand though exactly how I got confused on the end of this because Ricochet gets back in, Austin's in the ring. I'm guessing Bishop Khan had to clear out everybody because Ricochet hits the Spirit Gun and pins Austin to get the win on this. He gave it 2.5 stars. A little bit too much of like just Ricochet's stupidity in this for me, and the confusion with the end on it. I wasn't that happy with it. Post match, there's a beatdown and taunting on the mic from Ricochet because he thinks that everybody's against him, with kind of being set up in a 21-man battle royale to defend his title. But it was a match. It had to fill some space, I guess, on the show, and it was good to see Bang Bang Gang and the Bang Bang Gang in action again. They did a Toni Storm promo with her laying on the floor, reminding Shafir she knows how the circus is that they are performing in, and she's prepared for it. So that was a very fun Toni promo. I like how she structures and sets up things for her promo to give it a fun feel to it. Very good. Match number 5 was, I think this is the first time we get to see Lena Cross in a solo singles match. She took on Mina Shirakawa. This was a lot longer of a match than I was expecting. Mina tried to use her speed, if you can call it that, to counter Lena. But Lena was far too powerful when she was finally able to catch her to really let that slide and give her the advantage too much. Mina took control of it, though, for quite a bit to help kind of walk Cross through this. Up until Cross nailed her with a pump kick and set up the jackknife bomb to get the win. It was a 2-star match. Like, I get that we need more time seeing Lena Cross solo. I can agree. I don't think that Mina is the best opponent to put her in against, even though you can get a longer match, because Mina knows how to perform and how to give us a bit longer of a match. I don't think we saw enough out of Lena Cross here to really make her that dangerous of a big heavy, a giant, because she's huge, especially compared to Mina. She's so much taller, and her moveset is all a giant's moveset. It just didn't have that flow that it kind of needs to be in AEW with how most of the matches have. So we'll see. Hopefully the 0-hour bout with Willow helps broaden her, helps show us some more, and we get some more out of it. They had a video for the MJF Hangman build-up before going into the main event of Collision. Mascara Dorada versus Andrade El Idolo. This was fun. I didn't really pay too much attention to it early on because Andrade went outside and started flirting with the girls outside again and getting another number. Dude, get laid. Fucking Christ, man. I'm already tired of seeing you go out and flirt for 2-3 minutes of your match, just wasting time out there. It does nothing. Congratulations on being single. Go jack off and go do your job. Dorada kept up the pressure on him, kept up the speed on Andrade. Andrade does have great power. He came back from his time off looking jacked, and you can tell. Andrade hit this, to go into the finish, Andrade hit this hammerlock like DDT while both guys were up on the top of the turnbuckle. And as he hammerlocks him down, he drops down to the outside, brings Dorada's face down into the bar of the turnbuckle. That sent him out into the center of the ring. Andrade gets back in. Nelson with the DM gets the pinfall on it. 3.5-star match. It was, once it finally got going, it was a good match. But the bullshit of wasting time going outside and Andrade needing to go and flirt, it's just not necessary. We get it. And if you're going to go and flirt with somebody, go flirt with one of the wrestlers that's back there and bring a female into the Don Callis family. Because there's no one in the Don Callis family right now who's going to bring Don any of those women's championships. After the match, Bandito came out, to stand. I thought he was just going to stand on the rampway, but as soon as he came out to start doing his little face-off with Andrade, the Don Callis family jumped him from behind. This led to Brody King coming out to save his tag partner. And while he was saving his tag partner, Swerve Strickland comes out of fucking nowhere to jump him and continue their fight. Bandito then gets double-teamed again by the Don Callis family, thrown back into the ring. Eventually, everybody clears out and Don's group kind of runs off, but so much jumping after the thing. And you knew it was going to come too because of how Don's group is. But that covers the 2 episodes of television coming into this pay-per-view. As you can tell, Froggy wasn't with me for this one. She did watch part of the show. She has been here with us, here with me, helping out and everything. She just didn't have enough time to sit down and fully take notes with everything for this one. But she will be watching Revolution with me tomorrow, and will hopefully be joining me for the review of the pay-per-view. As usual, if you guys like what you're seeing here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you know when we manage to get out another video, and leave any comments down below. We love to see the engagements with people. It makes us feel like we're actually getting out there and people can hear us. So join us tomorrow, or probably Monday if we get it out, for the review of AEW's Revolution, and you guys have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.